Alright, we're going slightly back in time here to a prior patch. This is before the guardsmen got their lasgun buffs. I'm just looking for replays at the moment. Ha 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 ha. Because I still can't cast the low level ones. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's like cast low level games. Work overtime. What do I want to do? I'd rather work overtime. Anyway, Adila versus Toil. And unfortunately for Toil, he's on this horrible map where there's uncrushable cover. So the effectiveness of your Sentinel is severely diminished. But he's going to need that Sentinel because, yeah, this is prior to the Guardsman getting any sort of lasgun buff. So there you go. Banshees are present. So they'll be able to do something to counter-initiate. Oh. Well. Some free models, knocked over two of them. Commissar can put some work in on the Guardians. They need to get out, man. What the hell? I'm going to lose another model. Wow, how did they not lose another model? That was very lucky for them. But it was also a pretty lucky special attack from the Banshees there. Wow. Okay, Adila. Fine. It's kind of brawling with the IG, which is brave of him. Fast Sergeant here on this other Guardsman squad. I guess that's fine. Has he got... Oh, yeah, wow. Yeah, Toil's got two fast Sarges. So, this is the problem, right, with this old IG, where the last guns are just not very good, etc., etc. He's invested so much right now, and with the tank traps, he hasn't even won the engagements, even though he's got Stomp. He's still having Banshees bashing his power node. It's just generally a kind of miserable situation to be in. What can you do? What can you do? Wow, Banshees! Oh my god, Adila. Holy shit. They were so greedy for the power node, they just wipe. Oh dear, and then he overextends the shuriken as well, but he does have supporting fire from the Guardians at least. Fair play to Toilet, didn't want to use the Stomp. He's got the safety of the Guardsman. No, a bit of a mistake rotating the Guardsman here. If they ran down this way, they could have done a nice little bayonet charge into the shuddy. So they're going to have to go back to base. Yeah, I mean, look at his income, right, Toil. Because he went for the two Sarges early, and now he's dropped two gens. He should have had spotters out ages ago. He's got 60 power, but he's dropped too much requisition on the sergeants, and then it does increase your upkeep a little bit, but the upkeep is negligible at this point of the game. That might have cost him 10 rec or something at this point. Well, actually, I suppose it would be more than that, actually. But here's the flank from the commie. It feels so good bleeding these Eldar models. You need to be careful, man. He might lose the shuriken. Very greedy, very aggressive play, actually, from Adila. Look at it. Getting onto the decap here. But spotters finally arrived. Super, super late. These guys should have been out ages ago. But then again, you know what? So's the shuriken. Very late on the shuriken. I don't know why Adila did this. Did he not see the spotters? Because now this guy's just got to retreat. By the time it becomes relevant again, spotters are just going to have the shell back. So this was a complete waste of time. You'd have been better off keeping it back here to defend against the Sentinel push. You could have kept it in play then. And you would have prevented this decap, which is getting you a lovely 30 requisition a minute. Not any longer. Bang. Well, oh yeah, finishes it with the Guardsman. Nice, well done, Toil. The spotters are routed, which is a bit of a fuck up. Should have pulled them back further. Shouldn't really be getting spotters routed by double Guardians. But he was in an awkward situation there where the spotters were getting pushed by the Guardians and there were no Guardsmen to sort of zone them out. And now he doesn't really have a lot. This is a scenario where a flare might be quite useful. With the Warlock Destructor just completely... Oh wow. Oh god. Yeah, should have used flare. Adila was going for the retreat grenade timing anyway. Yeah. Goes for Cadishans to sideline. Which is not really very good. It's not going to help him much. Not going to help him in the AVA fights, I don't think. Nice grenades. Boom, boom. Wow, that only killed one guardsman? Seriously? Unbelievable. And he bleeds for it. Wow. Feels bad, man. Yeah, so he didn't have the guardians to cap. Oh dear. Oh dear. This is back when Old Reliable actually did damage. Can't suppress them both. Okay, he's just... I don't know what the plan was there. A little late on the smoke. Didn't have to retreat the Catachans. Strange. Adila has bled like a bitch. It's one of my key phrases, that one. Bled like a bitch. There is a heavy bleeder on her menstruation period. This is really quite horrendous. How has he got no wreck? I know he's been losing guardians, but this is ridiculous. He must have lost fucking clothes. Dubious situation for the Sentinel. Spotters, what you doing? Wakey wakey, spotters. There we go. Catachans might want to use some shotgun. Okay. No Old Reliable. Okay, this is scrappy as hell, man. Cartman running into melee with the shuriken. And the Commissar still not forced off. No Carapace armor on the Commissar for durability. Would have put in a lot of work, but he doesn't want it. Toil is going to tier 2 first. What the hell? Adila has bled like mad. It didn't feel like he bled that much, but evidently he has, and his map control's been terrible as well. It feels like he hasn't contested this area at all. Obviously, a part of that is the fact that he lost the Banshees. He should have had an extra squad running down here all the time, and just think about it. It would only have been the Catachans that could deal with that. But he shouldn't really be winning them in fights either when he's just got these units. If Catachans are side capping, so... Compositionally, this is good for the Eldar. Especially come tier 2, these Guardians getting the Warlocks. That'll be nice for them. It's one of the really nice things about multi-Guardian builds against IG. They just scale so well. Because the only thing that can resist your Shuriken Catapult pacing damage from the IG roster is the Ogrins. But if you suppress Ogrins and you land 2 grenades on them perfectly, you can just wipe the squad outright anyway. So... who cares? You might as well just do your thing. With the Guardians, you can really kill everything as long as you've got Shurikens nearby to suppress the Ogrins. Then Guardians can take on the world. And that is why triple Guardians can be quite effective. I do like Banshees. They're a no-brainer if you're fighting a Lord General. That was poor positioning there from the Shuriken. And yeah, no Rangers in play so far, so this opens up the opportunity of mines from the Commissar Global Bar being very, very effective. No detector for them, though for whatever reason the Dire Avenger Warlock can detect. Just cause. So they're actually not going to be that effective. Catachans right now doing a bit of a voodoo dance. Perhaps summoning the rain or something. Man, that melter gun is so strong on the Sarge. Yeah, no Rangers means IEDs would have been effective, but with the Warlock coming up, that's not really going to be the case. Is that a good nade? That is a good nade. 2 Catachan Devils dead. Just, let's see how much that costs. I often say that Catachan Devils bleed a lot. Obviously, this amount of HP, yeah, that is a lot. 35 free. That is a lot. That amount of health that they had for 2 models was obviously very good, but the thing is, for the HP, the individual models are extremely expensive. 35 requisition is like a scout, for God's sake, and then you're also paying power as well. That's a lot, man. So that hurts. I mean, that's nearly like losing attack, for God's sake. Attack is only 75 rec. You just paid 70 rec for 2 Catachans. And he paid power. Yikes. Okay, we've got Bionic Eye. Holy shit, I've not seen this in play forever. Can the Kadishans just wipe the shuriken? Ha! They do! Legendary. Absolutely legendary. What an upgrade. Makes them immune to suppression, I believe. Yeah, makes them immune to suppression. So the counter is that you can knock them over still. But they become immune to suppression and they get a speed buff. And they get the typical plus 100% damage that you get from any execute. Which, as you can see, makes them very, very scary when it comes to retreat kills. Because they just charge in and do all that damage. And then they can hit you with the old reliable. But obviously in the current patch, it's not going to be very effective. Because old reliable is not doing much damage at all. Yep, so then we got the Aura of Discipline, which will heal it up. Oh, it looks like the Sentinel just got snared by the mines there. That's pretty yikes. Look at that damage. Oh, juicy. It's gone. Makes me weep. Wraithguard, okay. Wraithguard are interesting because the Kadishans with Bionic Eye are actually an amazing counter. Obviously, Kadishan Devils, if you don't know, it's not actually that obvious. It's just obvious in gameplay terms. Because they've been like this for a while. Kadishan Devils do power melee damage, so Wraithguard are great at resisting lasguns with their heavy infantry armor, but they are vulnerable to the power melee elbows and shanks of Kadishan Devils, and of course, plasma guns on the guardsmen. Or ripper guns bonking them on the side of the head. That is also an option. Interesting to drop those mines, trying to get rid of them faster. But as you can see, even the AoE damage from the mines isn't that effective against Wraithguard. Okay, they need to retreat though, they're going to bleed models. Oh, he got one. I'll be happy with that. I'm not sure what Wraithguard costs to reinforce. They must be a fair bit, because as you can see, they're very, very tanky. I find it so odd in this game that there's been basically no side capping. That left-hand side of the map has been completely neglected. Wow, look at the chonks coming out of that Sentinel. Where's the stomp? Where's the stomp, Toilet? Double Guardians trying to focus down the Sentinel. Not going to be able to get it. Oh! Oh, wow. Can he get the... Oh my god, this damage. The Bionic Eye Kadishans, man. Crazy damage. Only the Warlock lives. Ripper Gun's actually putting in some serious damage there. God damn. What's the plan for Adila, man? Having lost a shuriken, he is now looking... He's looking in a bad way. He doesn't have the layered suppression. There's still artillery spotters to counter this shuriken. Bionic Eye can make the Kadishans of the Ogrins immune to suppression at the cost of a model. Obviously, executing an Ogrin is very expensive, but it can be powerful. But it's really tricky for Adila. He doesn't really have an ideal side-capping unit. I guess he really does need to send his... Would you send your Warlock or would you send your Guardians to side-cap? Probably one of the Guardians should be doing it. The Warlock with the power melee damage from the Witchblade of Kurnus, as well as the Ethereal Slash, will do some good work against the Ogrins. And if you can get in Retreat Path, you can wipe Guardsmen and Kadishans quite easily with that ability as well. Obviously, if is the problem, it can be quite hard to get in Retreat Path there. Commissar might want to pick up the Power Sword, in all honesty. It's relatively cheap. I know that Toil right now is severely lacking in power, though he has rebuilt this entire gen farm. Yeah, Adila's doing this thing again where he's pushing super, super deep. Fishing for kills on artillery spotters with the Witchblade of Kurnus. I feel like Adila isn't even thinking right now in this game. They did say L at the start, so this might have been like a previous tournament game, and maybe he's really fatigued at this point. I really feel like Adila is not even thinking. Why did he push that deep? Why was he using... Oh, I don't get it. Wow. Kadishan's just going for the wipe there on the Guardian Weapons team again. If that Autak stun didn't come in, that could have been the end of it. And he goes for the Autak with an Executioner Spear. That's very weird. The power melee will do some okay damage to Ogrins, but she can't stand up to Ogrins on her own. If he had Banshees, I'd understand it, because Banshees plus Autak would rip Ogrins up. But on her own, she's just going to get bonked by those Ripper Guns and knocked around by Use Your Head. Not to mention there's the CC from explosive shot from the Kadishan Devils. Yeah, this is so risky. And going into melee with this comp that Toil has, where he could bionic eye the Kadishan Devils, you're going into melee with an Autark. That's risky. I guess, okay, he's going to use it to sidecap, but then I question the decision to go for the Executioner Spear so fast. And look at that, man. Ogrin's just charging with Use Your Head. Thanks to the minimum range change on grenades, he doesn't just nade spike them. And then they just get on the Wraith Guard, and then Guardians might as well retreat because they know that their silly little shuriken catapults are as good as useless. Ogrins? With the Aura of Discipline here to heal the Ogrins. Oh my god, they're going into range stance, that's hilarious. Holy shit, Ogrins! Okay, boys. I mean, they basically do the same damage as Tactical Space Marines with bolters, with their Ripper Guns. They just have shorter range. How awesome is that, though? Okay, Adila is now using Wraith Guard to kill mines. Questionable use of the Wraith Guard. Now, an attempted ground attack, I think, there, but unfortunately the Wraith Guard stagger their shots, which means they don't suppress the Ogrins. I think you need to get 2 clean hits within quick succession to suppress. I think. Yeah, honestly, I don't even know what Adila can get right now, if I'm being honest. There is a Manticore from Toil, and I don't even dislike it, because there's the ability to combine that with the Lord Commissar mines, because there's still no rangers on the field. If you drop the mines, and then you blow the mines up with your Sentinel missile launcher or your Kadishan Barrage, you are going to snare a vehicle, and then you can hit the vehicle quite reliably with a Manticore. Especially a Fire Prism or a Falcon would just get wrecked. But even a Wraithlords are slow, they will take a lot of damage from it. You've already got Ogrins, you've now got the Xenos Power Claw on the Lord Commissar for heavy melee, and you've got the Missile Launcher Sentinel, you've got a Melter Gun on Kadishan Devils. I really don't think the Wraithlord's going to do a whole lot. I don't think a vehicle was the choice here. You could back-tech another Shuriken. You could get more Wraith Guard. Oh, we lost the Autark already. Hilarious. I didn't even see it go down. But you know what? It doesn't surprise me at all. Why he just used Destructor and not the Witchblade of Kurnus? I do not know. This is not the Adila that we used to know, and it was not the Adila that I went back in time to an old replay to watch. This is miserable. Adila. There it is, Ethereal Slash on a Commissar. Brilliant. Yep. Okay, wrong ammunition on the Sentinel to take out the Wraithlord. Oh, Manticore getting hit by Wraith Guard, that's kind of wild. Only 2 Guardians as well really does mean that you're going to be losing out in terms of repairs quite a lot. It's going to take a long time to repair a Wraith Lord. Okay. Wraithlord wants that sent. Ah, he's not going to get it. I don't think the flare was even needed. Yep, now the Wraithlord's pushed way too deep, it's dead. Now it has to commit to going into the base to try and kill the Sentinel, but it's not going to work. Repairs? No, he doesn't get the repairs, but it doesn't matter, he killed the Wraithlord. Just chilling. Yeah, trading a Wraithlord for a Sentinel. I mean, look at Toilet's economy, man. He has owned this requisition point, it feels like, for the entire fucking game. And it feels like he's had that one for 80% of the game. So I think this is going to be GG as soon as Lima Rust comes out, pretty much. Manticore stops the decap. Man. I just think there's nothing that Adila can really do at this point. He's behind on so many things. He's made so many poor choices. Misclicked the requisition point there and didn't cap it as well. I mean, I think he's mentally checked out. That was an unnecessary... Well, I guess it wasn't. Bionic Eye makes the shuriken retreat, doesn't it, there? But even though you don't have spotters nearby to assist. See, that's the thing. You pay 35 requisition free power, but you force off a shuriken. You don't even need to think of a counter for it with your Kadashins. You just make it go straight away. And if you are in sort of like a sideways position as you approach, you really do threaten a retreat wipe as well. Especially when you add in things like Ogryns or the Lord Commissar mines. Like scenarios like this, okay, well he sent the Kadashins the wrong way. But if he sent the Kadashins to the left, that might have been a wiped Guardian squad actually. Adila is not very good at using the Wraith Guard ground target. Well, the Wraith Guard did fire simultaneously there, but he didn't ground target, so they just missed the Ogryns. It's going to go for another Wraith Lord, which it will be better now because of the fact that the Sentinel is dead, but look at the resources on Toilet. He's going to go for a Beyblade variant in a minute. Okay. Fishes for the Ethereal Slash, but should get a nice healing proc from the commie. There you go, look at that, whoa! All the damage of the Witchblade of Kurnas gone. So strong, so strong. Nice incendiary shell there, softening up the Guardians for potentially wiping in retreat. Wow! He goes for the Bionic Eye on the Ogryns. That is a bold maneuver. He just executed the fucking bonehead. I mean, he's got so many resources, I guess he doesn't care. Oh, he's going for a Lehman, not a Baneblade. How nice of him. That would have been some nice BM. Adila trying to rat it out with some Webway gates, but for the upgraded Guardsman over here, quite tanky. That was not a very good Manticore strike.
The victory point is slipping away.
Desperate, desperate players. Barely any VPs right now. The incendiary shell dropped down there on the Guardians, trying to get them off that point. So he uses Distort Field for damage resistance. He does get the decap. The Wallop manages to cap down the bottom. But yeah, Guardians get wiped on the far side by Kadashins that were infiltrated. Now they're going to plant an IED. It's just a bad time, man. Lehman Rust comes out. Wraith Lord went a bit deep. There is a Bright Lance. But honestly, the Lehman can kind of just stat check it. Doesn't need to though, because spotters. Twilighty's not realised his Kadashins aren't shooting. They need to start shooting their shotguns. They'll have the energy for a shotgun blast, which will be nice for them. Okay. Fatal Slash killing the IED as well there, goddamn.
You've all but done it, sir.
Is that a Vanquisher? Looks like a long barrel. Yep. It is indeed a Vanquisher. So loses the splash, but much more rate of fire. And increased damage and increased range. Basically turns it into a tank hunting machine. Or a Wraith Lord hunting machine in this instance. And then the Commissar. And the Ogryns are going to make short work of this Warlock. Yeah, and that is game. Unfortunately, not a very close game. I was hoping it would be a bit better. Hopefully get some decent replays soon. I'm going to do some more Torpid talks, but it's tricky. It requires me both being of a sound mind to record and a sound mind to play the game. And then it becomes quite time intensive. But going to do a lot of Orcs and an IG. That's what I'm working on. I wanna rep those matchups. There's a lot to the game, man. It gets really deep. You know, it might take me like 10 games to figure out a matchup between two races, and even then it can vary based on the map and the heroes. So sometimes it might take 15 games, but then that's just Orcs versus IG. What about Orcs versus Chaos? What about versus Order Malleus versus Eldar? There's 7 races in the game, so it takes a very long time. But there you go, folks. Hope you enjoyed that one. A bit of old school IG for you, and nice to see the Bionic Eye. We've not seen this in, I don't know. We never seen it in the recent tournament, but then again, we didn't really see much IG. What a shame. Peace.